So true to the show, the question I get a lot is, how do you keep your business moving while you're actually traveling? And that can be a little bit more difficult than it seems, just because we have to find ways to keep the momentum of our business. Having systems in place is the number one tool. Shout out to Tim Ferriss. He talked about this ages ago in his classic, The 4 Hour Work Week, where he actually went to, I want to say South America, but somewhere for 6 to 8 weeks. And the amount of time that he was out of the country, he wanted to make sure he didn't have to check in. And this is like, again, almost 20 years ago. So Zoom, I don't think that existed. I'm not even sure if Skype existed. Like, it was a different type of period of time. So if you're out of the country, you're really outside. I remember my first trips to Japan, and I was in my mid 20s. It's quite a while ago. And I just had to email. There was actually an earthquake in Japan, specifically in Tokyo, while I was there. And my whole family was worried about me, as well as my friends. And I had to email everybody because cell phones weren't popping like that, back in that period of time. The positive side about that, with what I experienced, and of course what Tim experienced when he was in South America, is that if you're gone for that period of time, you need to have systems to keep things moving. So it's not an option. Right now, I think we get fooled because we actually have the option to say, oh, okay, I'm going to be, I don't know, I was in Europe over the past year. Or I'm going to be in Paris, but, I have a coaching call that was set up. So I might as well just take the coaching call, and I'll go to this, there's worse things to do than to be drinking Parisian coffee and, be taking a coaching call. But it's supposed to be vacation and or family time. Is that what I want to do? Like, when I'm off next to the River Seine and I'm hanging out with my kids? Like, no. But we have that option now. And there's a couple of videos I'm going to recommend in a moment that will help you keep that business moving. And I think the issue is, number one, having the systems in place. But the second issue is having the right mindset and being like, I'm actually off. You've heard this probably from other thought leaders like myself, or people talking about things where that's really the danger, where we're in an always connected culture. And that means that you can always run your business, but that means that you're always running your business. And it allows you to be frankly lazy about creating systems that don't require you to be there. It can make you lazy about creating systems that don't require you to be there. And I think it's really important to go through that process and say, okay, if I were to, I've had health issues over the last few years, nothing major, but more with my allergies and stuff like that. Again, just a part of getting older. And it's like, okay, if I'm wiped out suddenly, believe it or not, there's bad allergies here in the greater Vegas area. So it's like, all right, I'm going to be wiped out, and I committed to having a show every Wednesday, and then suddenly I can't do it. So what's the system? Well, the system is, okay, well, I have a back catalog. Again, this is episode 386, I believe. This is episode 386. So I have a back catalog so I can do some reruns, or I can create a compilation of previous episodes, which I've done before, which you guys seem to appreciate. Stuff like that. Or I might be able to have a VA, which I don't have it right now, but I could have a VA that I hire, and then they can handle it for me. Or I can go ahead and, there's so many different options. But things will happen, whether it's planned vacation, or, you have issues in your family, or you have personal issues where you're like, I can't do it. So you're going to have to figure out how to keep your business moving, whether you're traveling for fun or not. And I think that's a really important part of it. The couple of tools I'm going to recommend will kind of help you keep things on the road, particularly if you do some of the work that I do, and hopefully it'll be useful to you. So the first thing I recommend is Audio Technica. I can never say that, but I guess I said it okay. ATR 2100X USB. Man, please, my friends in marketing, please help them, because that is a mouthful. It's a fantastic microphone. I'm actually using it right now, but man, please help with the branding. So this is the microphone. I'm going to get meta for a second. I apologize if you're listening only, because I'm going to get distant. This is the microphone. I'm getting distant now. As I said, it's USB, but there's also different cords to it. This is called, it begins with a C. I always forget the name of it. It's cardioid. I think it's the term for it, cardioid. So that means that there's cardioid basically means like a circle or oval. And so the way that it takes the mic in it's actually able to get the surrounding area in front of the mic, but not the area away from the mic, which is why even though I'm in a fairly big room, you're able to hear me okay. It comes with this little stand, which my favorite part, which sounds super nerdy. Watch this. Like this. And then actually there's a way to push this up, but I don't want to break it. But it gets small. So this thing is about the size, I'm an adult male, so about the size of an adult male hand. Not the biggest guy, but it's like an average adult male hand. And this slides right in. And in fact, when I was traveling, again, hence me getting here, I was able to put it right in one of my bags. No problem. It might have been one of my backpacks. I just slid it right in. It was easy. It's no problem. And then you go and you plug it in. And again, they have USB. They also have an adapter that allows it to, is it called USB-C, I believe? They have an adapter that actually, or another wire that comes with it that allows it to plug right into the Mac. I'm an Apple guy myself, so it plugs right in there. And then you might be able to see it. Yeah, there's an on-off switch. It's blue right now, which means it's currently on. Again, while you can hear me. If I turned it off, then it'll be off. Really helpful to be thoughtful about that. If it's like you're trying to turn your mic off and you didn't, and the mute thing gets weird, and also the reverse as far as making sure that people can hear you, so make sure that's on. But of course, there's the light. So I've had some mistakes with it, but it was definitely my fault. There's an excellent microphone to travel with. Again, for that reason. There's some more sophisticated microphones that I actually just got, so I'm super excited about that. As I try them on, I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and let you know how it goes. But the other microphones that I'm starting to work with, they're not really built for travel. They're a lot bigger. Now they might be more crisp, they might be stronger, but this one is like a little baby microphone that works really well. This is actually my traditional microphone. So if you like the audio that you're hearing with the program, particularly over the past year, I think I've used it, then check it out. The links are all below, everything I'm talking about. So particularly if you're on Amazon, the link should be right next to you. The next one is a big one. Let me go ahead and pull it up. And it is the Paravel Aviator luggage. That description looks massive, but this is important to note. Carbon neutral made with recycled material and vegan leather. In other words, take your pick, whether it's carbon neutral, which means that whatever process the company Paravel used for it, it's actually not making damage to the environment based on the current environmental standards from the EPA or what have you. That's one. It's recycled material, which means the material itself isn't actually extracting from the environment, other than, I'm assuming, the energy that it takes to actually create it, like physically make it, but the material itself is recycled, and it's vegan leather, and you can put that together. This joint, it's adorable. I actually got this through Ted, so shout out to Ted. I've had it for a couple of years, but try not to knock over everything. This is what it looks like. So it is small enough for me to have it on camera and not have it totally all over the place. I'm not going to bother to open it because it's going to become something that's going to become Benny Hill. Been thinking about Benny Hill a lot. Shout out to all of y'all that remember Benny Hill. Yeah, that was definitely part of my childhood. But so suddenly it would turn into Benny Hill and all this stuff would be spilling all over the place. And then the horns would start, and then I'd be running around the circle trying to get all this stuff from the suitcase. But this suitcase is super cool for several reasons. Number one, it is dumb light. Like, it's ridiculously light. Like, I want to say suitcase itself is maybe, I've had bowling balls that have been bigger. I used to bowl back in the day. Shout out to my Midwest upbringing. But yeah, I've had bowling balls that have been heavier. So I'm guessing it's about 7 pounds, maybe. But it's durable as hell. Number two, it's simple and compact. It works really, really well. And it's worked on my weekend trips. The trip, that I'm doing right now, where it's a fairly brief trip, just for a few days. And it fits all my stuff into there. It works really well. It's also very durable, because I've taken it across the country. I might have taken it out of the country. I might have done an international trip with it. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I have I've had it for a couple years. And if you want to be environmentally conscious about it, it works really well. The reason why I'm recommending both the Audio Technica and the Aviator luggage is that for me, the compactness and not having to worry about things working is huge when it comes to traveling. And again, I'm in the middle of traveling, but it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday at 1:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vegas time. So I'm doing the show. And so me not having to worry about that, not having to worry about make sure my clothes are good. And yeah, of course, I got my Bring Your Worth t-shirt that you see down here. But, like not having to worry about all my stuff fitting in there, not having to worry about my sound being off because I have my microphone now. All those things, I think, allow you to keep your business going if you do need to do stuff on the road. That leads to my biggest recommendation for this question is checking out this video, Brene Brown, How to Slow Down Without Losing Your Business. One of my favorite moments or examples that I've seen with Brene Brown, and also one of my favorite videos. About a year and a half ago, Brene Brown put a message on her LinkedIn, I think on other platforms. It said, hey, I feel like I'm burning out. I need to stop. I'm going to take a break until September. I think it was like March. So maybe it was March of last year. Excuse me. And she explained, hey, these are the podcast episodes that she had 2 podcasts at the time. Having one is hard enough. These are 2 the best episodes from these 2 podcasts. We'll be doing some reruns, but I really need to find balance. And she had just came out with a book called Atlas of the Heart. And it was just a lot that she was doing. I think I'm busy. She was ridiculously busy. And she was like, hey, I'm going to go and take a break. And so the way that she did it was so beautifully done, so strategic and so honest. And when I've taken breaks, I've tried to use that same practice well before she did. But then when I saw how she did it, I was like, oh, that's how you can do it. That's beautiful. I love it. And so I did a video about it. It's about 20 minutes long. If you're struggling with how you can take a break from your business, if you feel like that's not possible, that taking a break is for everybody else, but not for you, be sure and check out the episodes. And I think you might be able to get some insight from it and hopefully get some encouragement as far as how you can do that in a strategic way that doesn't make you feel guilty or feel shame around it. You're watching Bring Your Worth TV. I'm entrepreneurial coach Damon Brown on the road live. Bring Your Worth TV is every Wednesday at 1:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vegas time. You subscribe for free over at youtube.com/BrownDamon, all that link point there. Or just go to BringYourWorth.tv. I'm trying to keep it easy for you. And my complete collection, the complete Bring Your Worth collection is out now. You can listen to it live at BringYourWorth.tv or grab it at your favorite retailers, wherever fine books are sold.